You were born to win. That is a fundamental truth, a code written into your very essence before you ever took a breath. So why does it feel like you're playing not to lose? Why does victory feel like it belongs to a private club and you were never given the password to get in? This is the paradox that haunts the man who tries, the man who shows up every single day. You put in the work, you have the discipline, you labor harder than most people you know, fueled by a quiet hope, but then you look at your results and they don't reflect the weight of your effort. You see others advance with a strange ease, a different kind of momentum, and a voice inside you asks the dangerous question, what do they know that I don't? Let me be clear with you right now. Your effort is not the problem. Your character is not the problem. Your formula is the problem. You have been trained, conditioned, and sold a faulty operating system, the loser's formula of isolated effort. A belief that just working hard is enough to claim your victory. This is the code that society gives the 98% to keep them running in place, to keep them tired and frustrated. But the true winners, the men who build empires from dust and craft, destinies from sheer will, they operate on a different frequency. They use a hidden formula, one not shouted from the rooftops, but encoded in the very laws of achievement. It is the formula of alchemy. It is not about addition. It is about multiplication. It's a precise combination of 5 ancient principles that, when fused in the correct order, turn 1 unit of your effort into 10 units of results. It is a system that leverages power, intellect, opportunity, and influence in your favor. And in this training, for the first time, we are going to decode and assemble this formula for you pillar by pillar. You will not leave here with more tips. You will leave here with a 5-stage protocol, a new operating system for a winner, a code that once installed makes failure a foreign concept. I will make you a promise. When you understand how the second pillar connects with the fourth, you will never look at success the same way again. The game you have been playing is over. A new one is about to begin, and this time you hold the rules in your hand, your life. A victory doesn't start when you feel ready. It starts the moment you understand the formula that makes defeat almost impossible. We are not here to try. We are here to install the code of your victory together. Are you ready to receive it? If you are committed to this path, to this war against your own limitations, then make your first move. Subscribe to this channel. This is not a button. It is a contract with your future self, a declaration that your training begins now. That feeling of pushing a boulder uphill, only to watch it roll back down as you sleep. It's a familiar pain, isn't it? It is the silent frustration of the capable man who sees a gap between his daily grind and his ultimate destiny. You do everything you're supposed to do. You wake up early, you face the day, you pour your energy into your work, your projects, your duties. You are a man of your word, a man of integrity, yet the rewards feel disproportionate to the sacrifice. It's a quiet, gnawing exhaustion that goes beyond the physical. It's a spiritual fatigue that comes from investing your life force into a machine that seems designed to stall. You see the world moving and you feel stuck in place, running faster and faster just to stay where you are. Let me separate the man from the method right now. The fire in your gut is real. Your will to succeed is pure. The problem is not your engine. It's the transmission. You have been taught to put a V12 engine into first gear and wonder why you're not breaking the sound barrier. The issue isn't a lack of power. It's a catastrophic misapplication of it. You were handed the loser's formula from birth. It is simple, seductive, and fundamentally broken. It states, your personal effort is the only variable that matters. Work harder, grind longer, sacrifice more. It's a formula that treats you like a machine, ignoring the laws of leverage, influence, and mental alchemy that truly govern the world. This formula is designed to burn you out. It isolates you. It convinces you that any failure is a personal defect, a lack of grit, a weakness in your character. It is the most effective prison ever designed because its walls are invisible, built from noble ideas like hard work but resulting in a life of quiet desperation. But what if I told you that this entire paradigm is a lie? What if the men you see winning aren't just working harder but are plugged into a different power source entirely? They are not just pushing their own boulder. They have harnessed the gravity of the universe to pull it for them. This is the truth that changes the entire game. The winners, the top 2%, do not operate on the principle of isolated effort. They operate on the principle of multiplied power. They understand that your personal energy is a seed, not the entire harvest. They have found a way to plant that seed in fertile ground where it grows exponentially, while you have been trying to grow a forest on concrete. This is not about a lack of will. This is about a lack of strategy, a lack of the right code. You have been fighting a war of attrition with yourself, when you should have been fighting a war of strategy against the forces of limitation. The frustration you feel is not a sign of weakness. It's a signal that your strategy is obsolete, and in this session we will shatter that old formula. We will burn the obsolete maps. You will receive the system, the hidden formula that the 2% used to achieve in a year what the 98% failed to achieve in a lifetime. Your frustration ends today because your real training has just begun. The first and most crucial pillar of the winner's formula is not about action. It's about direction. It is the master command you give to your subconscious mind, to the universe, to every cell in your body. It is your definite major purpose. Without this, you are a ship with the most powerful engine imaginable, adrift in a storm without a rudder or a port to call home. This is why 98% of men live lives of quiet desperation. It's not because they are lazy or incapable. It is because they are what one great thinker called drifters. They drift through life pushed and pulled by the winds of circumstance, the opinions of others, and the fleeting desires of the moment. They hope for a better life, but hope is not a strategy. It's a beggar's plea. A drifter reacts, a winner commands. The antidote to this soul-killing drift is a purpose so definite, so clear, so burned into your consciousness that it becomes an obsession. It's not a vague wish to be successful or rich. It is a precise, calculated, military-grade command. This is your declaration of war against mediocrity. The ancient law is clear. You cannot hit a target you cannot see. To install this first pillar, you will now learn to give your mind its marching orders. You will execute a 6-step command. 1. Fix in your mind the exact amount of money or achievement you desire. No ambiguity, be precise down to the last cent. 2. Determine exactly what you intend to give in return for it. There is no such thing as something for nothing. 3. Establish a definite date when you intend to possess it. You are putting the universe on a timeline. 4. Create a definite plan for carrying out your desire, and begin at once, whether you feel ready or not, to put this plan into action. 5. Write out a clear, concise statement of the amount of money, the time limit, the exchange, and the plan. And 6. Read your written statement aloud twice daily, once after arising in the morning and once just before retiring at night, as you read, see, and feel and believe yourself already in possession of your goal. This is not a request. This is a command you are embedding into the deepest parts of your mind. You will carry this written statement with you at all times. This card is not paper. It is a shield. It is an immunization against the virus of doubt, the whispers of fear, and the opinions of the crowd. Every time you read it, you are reinforcing the command. You are reminding every fiber of your being what the mission is. Most men live their lives asking for permission. They wait for a sign, for the right time, for someone to choose them. A man with a definite major purpose gives the orders. He doesn't wait for the path to appear. His purpose cuts the path through the jungle of life. This is the foundation upon which all victory is built. Without this, the other 4 pillars are useless. They are weapons without a soldier to wield them. So before we move on, I will ask you now, what is your command? Take a moment. What is the one objective that, if achieved, would change everything? Define it. For the first time, stop drifting and set your course. Now that you have your target, your master command, we install the first stage of the multiplication engine. The winner's formula dictates that you must never again rely solely on your own power. You must tap into a greater force. This is the principle of the master mind. It is the most misunderstood and yet most powerful secret of all great leaders. Let's be brutally clear. This is not about networking. Networking is for salesmen. Mastermind is for kings. It is not about exchanging business cards. It is about fusing minds. The core of this law states that when 2 or more minds come together in a spirit of perfect harmony for the attainment of a definite purpose, a third, invisible, intangible mind is created. This third mind is a psychic and intellectual force. It is a direct conduit to a higher intelligence. A single mind is like a single light bulb, capable of illuminating a small room. A mastermind is a hydroelectric dam capable of powering a city. It is the source of all strokes of genius, all flashes of inspiration, and all unsolvable problems suddenly finding their solution. The great industrialist Andrew Carnegie, who rose from poverty to become one of the wealthiest men in history, credited his entire fortune to his understanding and application of this single principle. He understood that his own mind, as brilliant as it was a finite resource. But by allying his mind with others, he could tap into an infinite reservoir of power and knowledge. This principle has two distinct domains of power. The first is the economic power. It is the sum total of the experience, training, knowledge, and influence of all the members of the group. It is the simple math of shared intelligence. If you have a problem, you are no longer attacking it with one mind, but with the combined force of many, each bringing a unique perspective. The second and more profound power is the psychic power. This is where the alchemy happens. The harmony and shared purpose of the group create a vibrational frequency that attracts ideas, opportunities, and insights from the universal subconscious. It is the reason why the greatest breakthroughs in history, from science to business, often came from collaborative groups, not isolated geniuses. So how do you right now begin to build this leverage of power? Your mission is simple and immediate. Identify one or two people in your life. Do not look for friends who will comfort you. Look for allies who will challenge you. They must share your ambition and your values, but possess skills or knowledge that you lack. Your task is to approach them, not to ask for a favor, but to propose an alliance. Schedule a meeting once a week with a single clear agenda. How can we together move with greater speed and certainty towards our definite purposes? This is not a social club. This is a war council. Your purpose is the enemy you seek to conquer. This is the first step away from the loser's formula of isolated effort. You are now admitting that your own power, while significant, is not enough. You are choosing to multiply your force. You are choosing to stop being a single soldier and starting to build an army. This is the way of winners. If the mastermind is how you multiply your power, this next principle is how you multiply your opportunities. It is the second part of the synergy engine, and it is the master key that unlocks the law of increasing returns. It is the simple yet profoundly transformative habit of always going the extra mile. It is the habit of rendering more and better service than you are paid for. The average man operates on the law of fair exchange. I will do exactly what I am paid to do, and not one thing more. He sees himself as a commodity, an expense on a balance sheet. His thinking is transactional. The man who operates by the winner's formula understands that this is a trap. To do only what is required is to be forever replaceable. The man who consistently goes the extra mile changes his very nature in the eyes of the world. He ceases to be an expense and transforms into an investment. He is no longer just a cog in the machine. He becomes the indispensable part that makes the entire machine run better. And the universe has a funny way of protecting its most valuable investments. This principle is not about working more hours for free. That is the thinking of the old formula. It is about infusing more quality, more creativity, and a more positive attitude into every single thing you do. It's about doing your work so masterfully that you make yourself invaluable. When you do this, you stop chasing opportunities. Opportunities begin to chase you. This law has an inevitable consequence that most men never consider. It does more for you than it does for the person you are serving. Every time you go the extra mile, you are developing critical inner assets. You are sharpening your skills, you are building your personal initiative, and you are forging an unshakable self-confidence that only comes from knowing you always give your absolute best. The world is filled with men who do just enough to get by. Their reward is just enough to get by. But the man who makes it a fixed habit to deliver more than expected puts himself in a class of his own. He builds a reputation that precedes him. People want to work with him, promote him, and put him in positions of power, because he has proven he is a creator of value, not a consumer of it. So here is your next protocol. It is the 30-day value challenge. Identify your most important task in your career, your business, or your personal life. For the next 30 consecutive days, your mission is to consciously deliver 10% more value, quality, or positive attitude than is expected of you, without announcing it and without asking for anything in return. Treat it as a secret mission. Your only goal is to observe the changes, both within yourself and in the reactions of others. You will notice a shift. Doors that were once closed will begin to creak open. People who once overlooked you will begin to seek your counsel. You are activating a universal law, and it must respond. This is the second lever of the multiplication engine. You are no longer waiting for life to give you what you want. You are creating such an immense vacuum of value that life has no choice but to rush in and fill it with the opportunities, the recognition, and the compensation that you deserve. This is not hope, this is physics. We have now installed the two gears of the multiplication engine, the mastermind and going the extra mile. Separately, they are powerful, but when you lock them together, they don't just add to your power, they square it. This is the alchemy. This is the point where 1 plus 1 does not equal 2, it equals 10. This is the core of the hidden formula. Think of it as a feedback loop of escalating power. Your mastermind alliance, your war council, is a source of superior plans. It provides you with strategies, insights, and perspectives that you could never generate alone. It gives you a clearer, more intelligent roadmap for how to go the extra mile effectively. You are no longer just working harder. You are working smarter with surgical precision. You take these superior plans from your mastermind and you apply them through your habit of going the extra mile, because your actions are now more strategic. Your extra effort produces vastly superior results. You're not just digging more ditches. You're building a cathedral. The value you create is no longer just incremental. It becomes groundbreaking. And here is where the loop accelerates as you deliver this exceptional value. Your reputation explodes. You become known not just as a hard worker, but as a strategic player, a man who brings extraordinary results. This magnetic reputation then attracts bigger and better opportunities. It also attracts higher caliber people who want to be in your orbit. Suddenly, the quality of people who want to form a mastermind with you increases dramatically. You are no longer seeking allies. Powerful allies are seeking you. Your initial war council evolves. It becomes a league of extraordinary individuals, further upgrading the quality of the plans and ideas you receive, which in turn fuels your ability to deliver even more astonishing value. This is the cycle of victory. The mastermind feeds the quality of your effort, and the quality of your effort feeds the quality of your mastermind. It is a self-perpetuating engine of ascent, while the man operating on the loser's formula is running on a hamster wheel. Burning his own finite energy, you have tapped into a system that generates its own momentum. This synergy is what creates the unfair advantage you have observed in winners. It is not luck, it is not genius, it is a superior system. They have built an engine where each part makes the other part stronger, creating a force that becomes unstoppable over time. This is the difference between linear progress and exponential growth. The man who only goes the extra mile without a mastermind often works hard on the wrong things. The man who has a mastermind but fails to go the extra mile has brilliant plans that he never fully executes with the level of excellence required to trigger the law of increasing returns. Both are fighting with one hand tied behind their back. The winner unleashes both. He combines coordinated intelligence with superior action. This is the very essence of strategy, and this is the engine that will power the remaining pillars of the formula. Understand this synergy, and you have understood the secret heart of all great achievement. So ask yourself, how can you this week use an insight from an ally to deliver more value? And how can you use your commitment to delivering more value to attract a more powerful ally? Start thinking in these terms. You are no longer just a worker. You are the engineer of your own victory machine. You now have a master command for direction and a dual lever engine for multiplication. But even the most perfectly engineered machine needs fuel to run. In the realm of human achievement, the highest octane fuel is enthusiasm. But we must redefine this word. This is not the loud, superficial excitement of a cheerleader. This is something far deeper. The enthusiasm of a winner is a quiet, intense, and focused heat. It is the outward radiation of a man who has absolute, unshakable conviction in his purpose and his plan. As one of the great teachers put it, enthusiasm is faith in action. It is not something you try to have. It is something that emanates from you as a natural consequence of knowing you are on the right path. This is why the first three pillars must be in place. You cannot be genuinely enthusiastic about a purpose that is vague. You cannot be enthusiastic about a plan you don't trust. But when you have a definite major purpose, pillar 1, and you know you are backed by the power of a mastermind and the law of increasing returns, pillar 2, a new energy is born within you. This energy is magnetic. It is the invisible force that draws people to your cause. When you speak with this quiet enthusiasm, people don't just hear your words. They feel your conviction. It silences doubt in others. It inspires your mastermind partners to a higher level of commitment. It sells your ideas, your products, and your vision more effectively than any sales script ever could. Most importantly, it sells your purpose to the most important person of all, your own subconscious mind. Your subconscious is moved by emotion, not by cold logic. Enthusiasm is the emotional signature of faith. When you infuse your daily affirmations and your actions with this feeling, you are accelerating the process of reprogramming your own identity. So where does this energy come from? It is the direct result of maintaining what is known as a positive mental attitude. But a positive mental attitude is not just thinking happy thoughts. It is the conscious choice to seek the seed of an equivalent benefit in every adversity, and to focus your thoughts exclusively on what you want to achieve rather than what you fear. You can induce enthusiasm consciously. It is a state you can choose to enter before an important meeting, a difficult task, or a crucial conversation. Run the protocol. Take 60 seconds. Close your eyes. Reread the statement of your definite major purpose. Feel the power of your mastermind alliance behind you. Know that the effort you are about to give will come back to you multiplied. This sequence of thoughts, purpose, power, and return will generate a genuine internal state of conviction. It will change your posture, the tone of your voice, and the look in your eyes. You will walk into that room not with hope, but with a quiet certainty that makes others want to follow your lead. This is the fuel of influence. The world makes way for the man who knows where he is going and is lit from within by the fire of his own belief. This is not about being loud, it is about being luminous. Enthusiasm is the light you generate. It is the signal you send to the world that you are a man on a mission, a force to be reckoned with. Cultivate it. It is the fuel for your victory. With your direction set, your engine built, and your fuel source secured, we now forge the armor. This is the element that makes you unbreakable. It is the pillar of applied faith. And just like enthusiasm, we must strip away the common passive definition of this word. This is not about religious dogma or blind hope. This is about a state of mind. Applied faith, in the language of winners, is a state of absolute conviction that can be scientifically induced. It is the chief chemist of the mind, as one master thinker described it. It is the element that, when mixed with any thought, gives that thought spiritual and physical life. Without it, your purpose is just a wish. With it, your purpose becomes an inevitability. This is the pillar that holds the entire structure together. It is the cement that binds the bricks of your new identity. But you do not get faith, you build it. Faith is not a gift. It is a result. It is the logical and unavoidable consequence of the diligent application of the previous pillars. It is a fortress you construct around your mind, one stone at a time. How is it built? It is a chemical reaction. The formula is precise. You take the repeated commands of your definite major purpose from pillar 1, and you use the principle of autosuggestion to plant them in the fertile soil of your subconscious mind. You then fertilize these seeds with the powerful emotion of enthusiasm from pillar 3. But seeds need more than soil and fertilizer. They need proof that they can grow. This proof comes from your multiplication engine, pillar 2. The small victories, the new ideas from your mastermind, the unexpected opportunities from going the extra mile, these are all evidence. They are tangible proof that the unseen laws are working in your favor. This is why so many men fail to develop real faith. They try to believe in something without a plan, without evidence. They are trying to build a fortress in the air. The winner's formula ensures that your faith is built on a foundation of concrete results and strategic action. Your faith is not blind. It is earned. Here is the protocol for forging this mental armor, the evidence journal. This is your personal training ground for faith. Every single night before you sleep, you will write down one piece of evidence, no matter how small, that the formula is working. It could be a new insight, a productive meeting, a compliment from a client, or simply a moment of genuine, unforced enthusiasm. This simple act engages the principle of controlled attention. You are consciously directing your mind to look for proof of victory, instead of allowing it to drift towards evidence of doubt. You are training your brain to see the pattern of success that is emerging. What you focus on expands by focusing. On evidence, you create more evidence. This daily ritual transforms faith from a fleeting feeling into a hardened, resilient armor. When the inevitable setbacks and temporary defeats arrive, they will no longer shatter your resolve. They will bounce off your armor of applied faith, because your belief is no longer based on the outcome of a single day, but on a growing mountain of evidence that your victory is assured. We have reached the final pillar. This is the element that guarantees your victory. It is the quality that separates the man from the boy, the master from the amateur. It is the principle of persistence. It is the iron in your will. Without it, the most brilliant formula in the world is nothing but a blueprint for a battle that was never fought. Let us define persistence with brutal clarity. It is not stubbornness. It is not blindly repeating a failed action. Persistence is sustained faith. It is applied willpower. It is the ability to continue executing your plan in the face of temporary defeat, armed with the absolute knowledge that your purpose is sound and your victory is simply a matter of time. Defeat is a part of the process. It is not a sign that your plan is wrong. It is feedback. It is the universe testing the quality of your armor and the depth of your conviction. The average man interprets temporary defeat as failure. He allows it to fuel his doubt and gives up, proving to himself that he was never meant to win. The winner sees it differently. A winner understands that every no is simply a stepping stone to the ultimate yes. He knows that the greatest successes in history were born from the ashes of countless temporary defeats. The man who discovered how to harness electricity failed thousands of times, but he did not see them as failures. He saw them as the discovery of thousands of ways that would not work, bringing him ever closer to the one way that would. Where does this relentless persistence come from? It is not a personality trait you are born with. It is the direct offspring of a burning desire. It is tied directly back to Pillar 1. If your definite major purpose is merely a mild preference, you will quit at the first sign of opposition. But if it is a white-hot, all-consuming obsession, then quitting is not an option. The entire formula we have built is designed to construct a desire so powerful that it makes persistence an automatic response. Your purpose gives you the direction. Your mastermind gives you the counsel. Going the extra mile brings the opportunities. Enthusiasm provides the fuel, and faith provides the armor. Persistence is simply the act of putting on your armor and marching forward, day after day. But we do not leave this to chance. We can weaponize persistence. Here is the protocol. Anticipate the enemy. You will now become a strategist of your own mind. Take out a piece of paper and list the 3 biggest obstacles you are most likely to face on the path to your purpose. Be honest. Is it lack of money? Is it the criticism of others? Is it your own self-doubt? Next to each of these potential enemies, you will write down a pre-planned countermeasure using the pillars of this formula. For example, enemy, lack of funds, countermeasure. Convene an emergency session with my mastermind to brainstorm solutions. Or enemy, self-doubt after a setback, countermeasure. Reread my evidence journal for 2 consecutive days. By doing this, you transform persistence from a reactive emotion into a proactive strategy. You have already planned for your own moments of weakness. You have given yourself orders to follow when the battle gets tough. You are no longer hoping you will persist. You are commanding it. This is the final seal on the winner's formula. Let us now take a step back and look at the magnificent machine you have built. This is not a checklist of 5 random habits. It is a living, breathing, self-reinforcing system. It is a feedback loop where each pillar strengthens the others, creating a rising spiral of unstoppable momentum. This is the complete formula in action. It all begins with your definite major purpose. This is the North Star. It is the unwavering target that gives meaning and direction to every single action you take. It is the command that organizes the vast, chaotic energy of your mind into a single, focused beam of power. It pulls you forward through every obstacle. That purpose is then fed into the multiplication engine of the mastermind. Your purpose becomes the shared mission of your alliance. Their collective intelligence refines your plan, solves problems you could not solve alone, and provides the encouragement and accountability needed to stay the course. The purpose becomes stronger because it is no longer yours alone. This enhanced plan is then executed through the principle of going the extra mile. Your actions are now not only persistent but also intelligent and of superior quality. This creates tangible results and activates the law of increasing returns, bringing you unexpected opportunities and resources that make the attainment of your purpose easier and faster. These results, this tangible evidence of progress, become the fuel for your applied faith. You are no longer just believing in a dream. You are witnessing a plan unfold. Your faith solidifies from a gas into a solid. It becomes a hardened armor that makes you impervious to the temporary defeats and the doubts of the outside world. And this unshakable faith, in turn, fuels a ferocious persistence, with a clear purpose, a brilliant plan, and a mountain of evidence. That your success is inevitable, quitting becomes a logical impossibility. This persistence leads to even greater action, which generates even greater results, which builds even more faith. The cycle repeats, faster and faster. Can you see the beauty of this engine? Your purpose fuels your actions generate results, your results build your faith strengthens your purpose. It is a closed loop of escalating power. It is a system designed for one thing and one thing only: inevitable victory. This is what separates the winner from the drifter. The drifter's energy is scattered. He takes 2 steps forward and 1 step back. His efforts are random, his beliefs are fragile, and his purpose changes with the wind. He is playing a game of chance. You are now a master of a system of certainty. This is your new operating system. It is the code that runs in the background of your mind every single day. It is the framework through which you will now make every decision. Is this action aligned with my purpose? Does this decision strengthen my mastermind? Am I going the extra mile? Is this thought building my faith? This formula is not something you do. It is something you become. It is a new identity. It is the identity of a man who does not hope for victory but engineers it. It is the identity of a man who understands and applies the fundamental laws of achievement. Welcome to the two. The formula is now laid bare before you. The 5 pillars of the winner's code have been revealed. The system is complete. It is not a secret anymore. It is a blueprint. It is a set of schematics for building an unbeatable life, and with this knowledge comes a heavy responsibility. It comes with a choice that will define the entire trajectory of the rest of your life. In this moment, you stand at a fork in the road, and there are only 2 paths forward. They are the path of the student and the path of the warrior. And you must choose which man you will be. The student hears this information. He nods. He finds it interesting. He might even feel a flicker of motivation. He will save the video, thinking he will come back to it later. But then the pull of his old patterns, the gravity of his old identity, will take over. The information will become another dusty book on a shelf in his mind, and his life will remain exactly the same. He will remain one of the 98, a man who knows the path but refuses to walk it. He has the key in his hand but complains that the lock is too difficult to turn. He will continue to operate on the loser's formula of isolated effort, wondering why the victory he was promised never arrives. This is the path of intellectual comfort and practical failure. Then there is the path of the warrior. The warrior hears this formula and recognizes it not as information but as a direct order. He understands that this is not a philosophy to be debated, but a protocol to be executed. He sees this not as a video, but as the first day of a new training regimen for his soul. He knows that knowledge without action is the ultimate self-betrayal. He feels the weight of this new responsibility, and he welcomes it. He knows that this formula is not a magic pill, but a set of tools for forging a new self from the fires of discipline and commitment. This is the path of the two. This choice is yours and yours alone. No one can make it for you. Will you be the man who collects maps, or the man who explores the territory? Will you be the man who talks about building a fortress, or the man who lays the first stone right now? This is the question that separates the men from the boys. Your old identity, the one conditioned by doubt and frustration, will fight for its own survival. It will give you 1,000 reasons why you should start tomorrow. It will tell you that you're not ready, that you need more information. This is the final test of your resolve. Will you listen to the voice of your past or the command of your future? You have been given the code. You have been handed the weapons. You have been shown the blueprint for your own victory. The gap between the man you are and the man you were born to be is measured by one thing and one thing only: your willingness. to apply what you now know. So I ask you again, which path will you choose?